Now, from your trusted team of meteorologists at Panhandle Weather, this is a severe weather update.
And a good, it's late morning here on this Saturday across Northwest Florida. Meteorologist Chris Smith here with the very latest on the storms moving through Northwest Florida. As you look behind me here on live Doppler radar, you might be looking at, are these the storms? These are not the storms. This is kind of the precursor of some decent rainfall across Northwest Florida that's moving on through. You can see right now there's just one lightning strike in the past 15 minutes across this whole area, and it is actually back over north of Mobile. So again, this isn't anything severe. It's just some good rainfall that's sliding on through, but we are going to turn our attention to this area out to our west that will have a risk of severe weather, and it will expand. We've already seen that over the past hour, but we'll see it expand and continue to push its way down towards the south and east through Northwest Florida. And so that's where our severe weather threat is going to come from later on today. Now, it's nothing in the way of a major severe weather event, we don't think. It is remains a marginal risk of severe weather, but it is something that we're going to be keeping an eye on this afternoon. After all, we are a channel devoted to weather in Northwest Florida, and we got some weather moving on through, so we are going to cover it. And if it's of interest to you, we welcome you to watch with us. If you have other things you want to do, then you are more than welcome to do that. There's definitely some football on today, so I totally get it. So here's what's going on. Let's go back over the past hour. And we've seen some pretty good rainfall move through Northwest Florida. As you'll see right now on live Doppler radar, there you see it. The showers continuing to move from the west and off to the east. Let me bring it up here. There we go. There. So this is over the past hour. You can see the showers moving from the west and off towards the east. Some heavier rainfall for my friends in Calhoun County. Had some heavier rainfall here at the house. And there's been a pretty good swath of some pretty good rainfall. You can see now we're up to 4 lightning strikes in the past 15 minutes. Let's go back to 24-hour rainfall. And you can see through that little swath right there that there's been some pretty good rainfall in a few spots, upwards of over 1 inch of rainfall. But, I mean, there's plenty of us that have seen very little to almost no rainfall here across Northwest Florida. So this is kind of round number 1, then round number 2 will come in later on this afternoon. I think we could see on the high side 1 inch of rainfall, probably about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rainfall as it moves on through. So that's the very latest. Now, one thing to note today, which is a bummer, the radar at Red Bay is down. So once again, we're going to have to use Mobile, Tallahassee, and Fort Rucker up there in Alabama to kind of cover our area. So we're not going to have the best of views of the storms as they move in, but it is what it is. So we will continue to keep an eye on it. This is the view right now from the radar over in Mobile. And you see what I'm talking about back to the north and west. These are your showers and thunderstorms that are beginning to develop. And these are the ones that are going to be sliding through our area over the next couple of hours. So we'll be watching them as they move from Mobile over into the Pensacola area, Santa Rosa, and then on eastward. So these storms, again, will be on the stronger side. Or, this is where the severe weather threat is going to be coming from today as they continue to move off to the south and east. As we look at any of these cells, we're not seeing any signs of rotation in there. The tornado threat is fairly low across our area, but it's not zero. So we'll continue to kind of keep an eye on that. As we look for shear, in some of these storms, there is a little bit of shear in them, but nothing that I'm overly concerned about right now. As far as the possibility of hail, we're not seeing any hail right now, but there is a hail threat today, so do be aware of that. It's not something that we see a lot of, but we do have a hail threat today across our area. let's go ahead and look out across Northwest Florida. Some of our cameras as we look out over Panama City Beach. We have red flags flying in Bay County today. Notice the dew point temperature now up to 64. If you've been outside today, you could feel that moisture in the atmosphere. Winds are out of the west-southwest at 25 miles an hour. So that's the other story, is it's really, really windy this afternoon. We have double red flags flying over in Walton County, but it's not going to be a beautiful day. Just stay out of the water. Pretty rough conditions. Let's go back over into Destin right now. As we look over into the harbor there, you can see Old Glory getting whipped around pretty good right there. But rainy conditions for our friends, and windy conditions as well over in the Destin area. Winds there, dew point 65, temperature of 68 degrees right now. And let's see, this is the Grand Lagoon camera there at the Sea Screamer. You have a west-southwest wind at 23 miles per hour. You can definitely see the dark skies overhead. Also there, if you look real carefully, you can see the tide is in particular pretty low right now, and you can definitely see that low spot there that's over in Grand Lagoon by the bridge. Right now. The high tide, depending upon the location, doesn't come back until this evening, but we are past the lowest point of low tide, so we'll continue to see that water come up. And I have a picture I'll show you guys in a little bit that came in from a friend of ours illustrating that. So, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about, let's bring it back over to our area. Let's see, we'll look at our forecast, and what you're going to see today will be temperatures into the 70s, and then you'll see those rain chances this evening gradually kind of taper off through 6 o'clock or so this evening, and then should be quiet as we head overnight tonight. As we look at your 7-day forecast for tomorrow, will be 60s, should be nice, and then gradually warming next week. Not much in the way of any rainfall. That's coastal locations and inland areas. You'll be way up into the 70s. Look at that, upper 70s expected a little bit later on next week. But the second half of the weekend should be okay. We just got to get through these showers and thunderstorms right now across Northwest Florida. Mobile and radar. So this is over the past hour. You can see the lightning strikes now jumping up. We were at 1 lightning strike, and now we're up to 18 lightning strikes. And again, the bulk of it out here to the west. And these are going to be the storms that we're going to be tracking as they move into Northwest Florida. So round number 1 was not a whole lot, just some good old-fashioned soaking rainfall. And then round number 2 will be the severe weather threat. Again, that threat remains on the lower side across our area. It's not going to be necessarily a significant event, but we will cover it just in case. We got some pretty cool viewer photos in this morning across our area, and you can see this is from my friend Sherry Varner over in Black Creek Boulevard, which is up near the Freeport area, and she was one of the ones that kind of got underneath one of that swath of heavier rainfall. And so seeing some ponding on the road right there, some beneficial rainfall. It was a narrow band, but the folks that saw it did pretty good. Certainly we could use that rainfall across our area. Now, let's talk about, this was Phil Chester. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you guys. Looking out over, this is West Bay, and notice how low it is. It's very, very low. When it comes to the tide there. Now, low tide in this location was around 8:30 or so this morning, so it's on the way up. High tide is going to be tonight, coming up at probably about 10 o'clock or so across the Bay area. So between 8 and 10 o'clock or so is when the water comes back in for high tide. And it should be probably at least a couple feet higher than what you're looking at right there. And you see the tides for Panama City Beach. Now this is out on the beach. shows that, again, low tide, and then we'll jump up to about 1.71 feet this evening. High tide will be at about 7:30 this evening. It doesn't come up into the bays until about 10 o'clock or so, a little bit deeper into the bays. But that's the reason for why the water is so low in the bays, as we have low tide, and that water will come back in. So nothing to fret too much about. As we talk about the showers and thunderstorms across northwest Florida, you can see there's batch number 1 of rainfall that's moving on through, but turn your attention out here to the west, north of Pensacola, as that's going to be your band of heavier showers and thunderstorms that's going to be moving on through, and this is where your severe weather threat is going to be coming through as well. So we'll be watching this as it moves to the east through 3 and 4 o'clock this afternoon, Mariana back down through Panama City, and then exiting east by late afternoon. And after that, we're pretty much, for the most part done. There might be a few lingering showers, but the clouds kind of linger across our area. But I do expect the sunshine to come out as we head into your Sunday. Just be patient. It might take until you get out of church to see a little bit more in the way of that sunshine. So we do have, there is a decent amount of convective available potential energy, storm energy with this. And you can see as that races to the east and then southeast and then exits our area. So there is at least some energy, and that's why we have this marginal risk of severe weather across our region. As far as the chances of us seeing supercells, probably not a lot, but you definitely did see there a little swath of the potential for maybe some rotation inside of these storms. So we do have, let's bring it back here. There you go. Supercell potential as those storms move through this afternoon. There is a little bit of green on the map. Weak rotation could be possible, and that's why we do have a small tornado threat. And then this was the convective available potential energy this afternoon. Again, mainly into the weak category here. We're not seeing any strong energy or a lot of fuel for these thunderstorms, but again, this all does remain a what we call a very marginal severe weather threat here across northwest Florida. So this is your, right now this is the severe weather threat, which is again a marginal 5% chance of severe weather for today across the northwest Florida. So it's just a 5% chance. Specifically, when we look at the threats, they did expand the tornado threat a little bit more to the west today over towards Mobile. Yesterday, it kind of cut off at 331, but they did expand it a little bit west today. And so we do have, this is a 2% chance. Now, what does that mean? There's a 2% chance within 25 miles of where you are of seeing a tornado. So again, just a 2% chance. So it's not zero, but again, I don't want everyone freaking out that, this is some like high-end event or anything like that. Wind damage potential is a 5% chance within 25 miles of where you are. So obviously a little bit higher. And that is, that extends up into Alabama and here and over into parts of Georgia. And then the hail threat, which again, we don't have too terribly often, is very similar to the wind threat, 5% chance of seeing damaging hail associated with this. So we're talking about 1 inch in diameter type. So that's kind of the way things stand, at least right now. Let's see. SPC day 1. You can see across the southeast where the storm threat is, that marginal risk. It's basically Columbus, south of Macon to Savannah, Charleston area, and then down to Jacksonville and across through Pensacola and Mobile. So that's where your severe weather threat is for today. So there are your showers. There's band number 1 coming through, and then there's band number 2, and that's going to be the stronger one moving through Northwest Florida. You see the number of lightning strikes right now up to 29. So when we hopped on, we had 1. And then now we're up to 29 lightning strikes. So you see that intensification. These thunderstorms are getting going. And that's something that the Weather Service is talking about out of the Mobile office as far as the threat of severe weather that along and ahead of the cold front, we're seeing a cumulus field develop inland, and that's where these thunderstorms are coming from. And a few small returns on radar, which have already jumped up to some bigger thunderstorms. Instability is quickly increasing, and the deep layer shear is supportive of a few strong to severe thunderstorms. Most likely areas to see isolated severe storms will be along and east of 65 in the marginal risk area. Localized damaging wind and large hail are the main threats. Tornado threat is very low. So all of that, that's what the general thinking is with these thunderstorms. So that is kind of where things stand right now. Let's see. I think that's all we'll do for right now, because obviously the thunderstorms aren't even in our area. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on kind of where things stand, that we still do have this risk of severe weather. It's a small chance, but it's mainly this afternoon. And of course, we'll track these storms right through Northwest Florida as they move into our area this morning. So come back in here, Mobile, radar, go now. So you see up near Atmore, thunderstorms, some heavier rainfall moving into Escambia County, Alabama, as well as Escambia County, Florida. Baldwin County, some showers and thunderstorms, but you see the bulk of this stuff is even back into Mississippi is where it stands right now. But we should see this kind of fill in and intensify as it moves into our area. Not seeing anything in the way of any rotation with it, but nonetheless, we will keep an eye on it. So I think we'll go ahead and take a break here. I'm gonna, post a couple updates on the channel, maybe try and record those real quick and drop those in. And then as the storms move in, I'll send out another push notification on the Panhandle weather app for you guys to, that we're going to be, out broadcasting again. Let's see here. There you go. That's the information right there. If you don't already have the app, you can download it and get the latest information from push notifications to severe weather alerts. There's interactive radar, of course, the forecast and everything, and it's free in the iTunes App Store, Google Play Store. We certainly appreciate your support of Panhandle Weather and letting your friends and family know about us, as the way we consume weather is now changed across our area, and we're happy to be at the front of it and have you guys along for the ride. It's been a dream of mine for quite a while and excited to do it. So let's go ahead and take a break here for a few minutes. And we'll be back probably in the next, probably in the next hour or so, hour and a half at the very latest. And we'll just ride through and track these storms. Hopefully nothing too severe. Again, this is a fairly minimal event, but it is a possibility. So we will track these storms. But y'all have a great rest of the morning. Don't fret too much about it. And we'll give you an update here coming up in just a bit.